I don't think employers understand the level of impact they have on the American culture. They decide our medical, right? They decide how we communicate and how we interact, right? And they decide whether or not we're in the office and how we're able to show up for our families, right? And I'm sure there's going to be people out there who are rolling their eyes at this, but if you really think about it, when it comes to our home life, right? And which is arguably more important than work, in my opinion. Being successful is important, but you can do it and have a successful home life as well. But employers, often what they're doing is they're teaching a way of communicating and interacting with others that doesn't translate well at home. The type of relationships and type of communication styles should not be brought home, but often they are, because at work they're taught this is the right way to be, right? But then at home, it is not the right way to be. It does not create bond and relationships and communication. It's just not there, especially for children. If you're managing your children like you manage employees, you're gonna have issues. You're gonna have so many deep, hard emotional issues with your children, usually. And then also, it's not safe to put them in schools anymore. And education is sometimes so. So, it would be a lot more productive and safer and healthier for everybody if, or not everybody, but the people who would like to do this, to be able to. So if you're an employer, offer both. If it's a job that can be at home or it can be in the office, be like, hey, we have an office. You can use this space, or you can work remotely if you like. And so the person's like, hey, I want to do this, okay? And I know there's usually issues with moving desks and that kind of thing and trading desks around, and there's solutions for that for sure. But asking people like we're moving towards right now, hey, you have to come into the office for a majority of people now in the US, is going to be really hard nowadays for those people and for those families, because those children need more support than they ever have, and they're just not going to be getting it on an emotional level and at a present level and as a safety level. Those kids are going to schools that are not safe, and they're probably not getting the education they need. And a lot of them can self-teach when they get older, or they can have a tutor at home, whatever it might be. But leaving those options open to have as many families as possible being healthy would be the best impact for America. But employers, they don't see how they impact things. They don't. Let's talk about communication. At work, they teach that there's a specific way to communicate, and that does not translate over into how you interact with people in your day-to-day life. And many people do that because they've been taught that that's what's right. And so we have a lot of broken relationships. It shows up on social media, especially all of the talk about boundaries and people feeling like they have all of these disorders because they're different than the mold that's at work, because they're having trouble fitting that mold. And there's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with them. If anything, they're doing perfectly fine, and they just need to believe in themselves and have confidence. But work also needs to be more than surface level. Okay, so what usually happens in these HR conversations is they're very scripted, and they usually don't leave room for communication or fact finding and discovery and finding out what's really going on and how to actually solve it. And there's multiple reasons for that, right? Nobody's really in the wrong other than whoever's supposed to be calling these shots isn't calling the right shots, right? They need at work to find a way of communicating and interacting that is healthier, so that when people bring those skills back home, we have a healthier life all around. And that'll also bring more peace to people in general, right? And it'll alleviate a lot of issues. And then you have benefits. Like I said, I've been in HR and payroll for years. And I know these employers who are picking their benefits, they don't have any idea what they're doing. And company or the US government has put it on employers to provide insurance for employees. And, it's crap insurance 90% of the time. And a lot of times the employers aren't asking the questions that they need to. And the brokers that are supposed to be helping them, that the employers are trusting, also aren't asking the questions they need to. And it's a cycle, right? And at the end of the barrel is the employee. And they're struggling with their health benefits. And there's options there that aren't being discussed. And employers that aren't making it important, because the conversation for benefits is not long. It's quick. They try to get past the uncomfortable part as quickly as possible. I'm sure there's some companies out there that are genuinely, really trying to do everything they can to get the best benefits for their employees. But most of them are not. Most of them are not. They believe that it looks like this for everybody, and they just accept whatever's offered to them, pick the best option, and just went with it. And that's for most of them. So, yeah, yes, the employees, the people, they have responsibility to take care of their bodies and themselves, right? But the employers are definitely playing a part in that for years now. And many people don't talk about that aspect of it because a lot of people don't know what kind of conversations are happening on the employer side. Let's see. But yeah, that's basically it. On every aspect of our major issues here in America when it comes to our day-to-day. Yeah, pay. I don't know. Pay is hard, another hard one, because right now there's less jobs and so many people who need jobs that we are literally going backwards in how much we're able to earn. We are literally, I've been seeing it over the last year. We are going backwards. Jobs that you would get paid for, say, $60,000 are getting pushed back $10,000. $80,000 getting pushed back another $10,000. And I'm seeing it, you guys. We are going in the wrong direction on everything. And you know why we're going in the wrong direction? In my opinion, it's because of money. It's always because of money, but here's how. Employers are needing to save money because things are getting more expensive, and employees are needing more money because everything's getting expensive, but employers are cutting people because things are getting too expensive, right? But what they really need to be doing is hiring more people, because people need jobs and employers needs holes filled. And if they continue going like they are, they're going to crash and burn. So many of them are going to crash and burn. So many. But yeah, that is it. My opinions on employers and their responsibilities to the American people.